Hey guys, welcome back to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm your host Harry, and this week I'm going to be driving this monster of a C63. And if you read the title, that's because this is a 507 edition. If you're not familiar with the 507 edition, it was one of the last special editions to have this 6.2 litre naturally aspirated engine, if we aren't including the ultra rare and exclusive Black Series, which is only ever offered to VIP customers of Mercedes. So really at the time, the 507 was the best C63 that you could actually obtain and purchase. Now let's talk about what makes this car just so special and for why it is appreciating in value right now. Now that is of course the engine in this thing. It's been bumped up to over 500 horsepower, as the name would suggest, 507 edition. And to achieve this without turbocharging the car like they do in current models, Mercedes had to borrow parts such as forged pistons and rods from the infamous SLS. Okay, so let's talk about some of the styling differences that you'll get with the 507. And since we're up here at the front, first thing I notice is these hood scoops. They're super aggressive, super nice, and it's such an easy way to tell the difference between a 507 and a regular C63. If you come along down the side of the car, you also get some exclusive 507 wheels that I think they did offer on some of the other models that you would have to pay extra, but they come standard on this car. Down the side of the car, you also get this decal pack, which I'm not too sure how well this thing's aged, because Mercedes have slapped this onto every single AMG light model they have on the 45s and 43s, but this is where this came from on the 507 edition. You also get a lovely gloss black lip spoiler, and apart from that, that's all the visual differences you really get on one of these. But overall, the package is super aggressive and it still just has those classic lines. Now, before we take this car out for a drive, let's quickly have a look at the interior and see if there's any differences in here that I can spot. So, very classic Mercedes in here. It all looks pretty similar to me, apart from this little 507 badge that you get there on the dash. And of course, with this car, you get a full Alcantara steering wheel rather than just on the center points here. But other than that, it all looks pretty good. You do get the Silverstone black and white contrasting interior as well, which really livens it up. And with that, I think we'll just get out on the road and see what this thing sounds like. Alright guys, so welcome to the cockpit of the 507. Now, as you could probably hear, this thing is a little bit of a handful for sure. Just from driving out here to the boulevard, I've really got the sense of what this car's all about. It is such an occasion to drive. It's super, super stiff and aggressive, and it really just reminds you that you're not just driving any old regular C-Class. So let's talk about how this thing drives. The gearbox is not as bad as what I was initially expecting. The shifts are quite snappy. There is a little bit of a delay, but that is expected with a car from 2013. So for example, I'm in third gear, drop down to second, you get that little delay, but it's nothing too serious. And then you just gotta feed in the power because it is super, super tail happy, and it's not exactly the best day out for this car as well. There's water on the road, it's mossy, it's greasy, and you just have to be super, super alert when you're driving this car. Now, the centerpiece of this car is obviously the engine. It is super responsive, and because you've got that naturally aspirated engine, there's no turbo lag. The second you put your foot down, it just goes. And It's a good thing I've got the traction control in its sport setting. I'm not going to turn it all the way off today, guys, because it's just too slippery. But you do have to have it in that sport setting, because if you leave it all the way on, it is quite intrusive and it's just going to cut all that power away from you. With the engine as well, I mentioned earlier on in the video that it has the same components out of the SLS, like the rods and the bearings. Now what that does is it provides a lighter inertia for the engine, which is why the engine loves to rev up so quickly and why the throttle response is just so good. Now, if you're not a professional race car driver, I doubt you would probably notice a difference, but that is the key goal for putting those components in, along with the side benefit of getting the extra added reliability due to those parts being so much stronger. With your everyday driving in this car, it does have a lot of different drive modes like a modern sports car should. Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, and manual, which is what I like to leave it in. Just down from the drive select wheel, we also have the classic wheel that controls the infotainment system. It is a rudimentary version of what we're used to, but it still gets the job done. So guys, if you're looking for a performance sedan that combines muscular looks and exhilarating performance, look no further than the 507 edition C63. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.